So now we're going to start to build the airplane on the side of the stick that has the motor on it. Now this is just one option. I'm showing you one way of building an airplane. You can certainly take some creative license here and build a different kind of airplane or a whole different idea in general. So this is really up to you. But if whatever you're doing, what you're gluing on the motor, you want to make sure that you keep some of the hot glue away from the motor shaft. That'll lock up your motor and it won't spin very well if at all. So here I'm really just working out the placement of the wings on the airplane, being careful that the propeller doesn't actually curve back from the shaft and hit the wing. So I actually ended up trimming just a tiny little bit off of the propeller. We'll be doing some adjustments to the propeller in our final testing, so we'll make more modifications at that point. So I'm working on doing just kind of a simple biplane. Couple of craft sticks on top and a couple of craft sticks on the bottom, glued carefully along the edges, give it really kind of a nice clean look of a biplane. Now to cut the tail fins, I want to cut a couple of shorter pieces, but I'm also going to take care to trim off the edges and make them nice and curved so that they have kind of a uniform look with the wings that are on the front and the natural curve of the craft sticks. So I cut those carefully to curve them, put a couple of them together here, and I'm just gonna glue that down to the bottom, or I'm sorry, the back of the plane. And then I'm gonna quickly create a tail fin and just measure it up to the length of the two back wings, glue on the edge, and then I have just kind of a cool, simple looking biplane. I'm going to give it a test. When I turn it on, I should be feeling wind blow toward the back of the plane. That's the direction of the thrust. And to attach the plane on the stick, very simple. I'm just going to add hot glue to the end of the stick. I'm going to align the motor. Notice how I have it on the stick? It's out toward the end. Once I put it on the stick now, I want to make sure that I have my weight balanced. So I'm going to just carefully test. I'm going to use my rubber band and hold the battery onto the other side. And I'm just going to put it on, give it a little test spin. If the balance is off, I can just move the battery. Now, if I turn it on just to do a quick test, you can tell the wires are all over the place and the switch is not glued into place yet. If I glue that right in the center with the lip of the switch just over the top of the square dowel, it makes for a really nice fit. I can use the zip ties then to fold up the wires and hold them in place. Notice how I'm getting all the slack of the wires pulled together underneath the zip ties by folding them up. That holds things in place pretty nicely. Just use the clippers to get rid of the excess zip ties. Now I'm ready to do some testing. So my first test, I could see here that things were going a bit too fast. Turn it on and you'll see the base moving and even walking just a little bit. I even moved the battery back and forth on it just a touch, and I actually ran out of length of stick. I would need to move the battery further back. So what I ended up doing is trimming the propeller a little bit shorter just to see if I could slow it down a bit. And that worked. It slowed down, but it's still just a little bit off balance here. So what I ended up doing was trimming it again, and in this case what you're seeing here, I may have gone a little bit too far because now it doesn't spin quite as fast as I want it to. So just a little bit of adjustment of the battery inward or further outward can make a big difference. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't ever stop tinkering.